Steve Miller also talked briefly, and First Last brought this to my attention, to this issue. A question from a reporter, and I think it was at 9 minutes, 45 or so seconds.
What evidence the United States have that those South Africans have been persecuted?
So she said, if you can't hear her, what evidence does the United States have that those South Africans are being persecuted? It is inconceivable to anti-whites that white people can be persecuted. And I submit that part of the reason why the Trump administration is keeping this quiet as much as they can is because of that social morality. That is the anti-white immoral imperative. You're helping white people. You saw it manifested when Trump said certain groups of people. There's one group of people, but the fact that he said certain groups of people without saying white people is evidence that there is this social morality that has trumped Christian morality. It has trumped religion. It has trumped ethics. Excuse me, pun intended. It has trumped everything, which is why we need the remedy to that social morality that is working. We're going to be talking about that, and we're going to be talking about pro-white content creators that for some reason, and it can be up to you, you can think about it, why they don't celebrate actual tangible victories in the lives of white people. For instance, something that this community only tangentially was involved in that benefited white people was through a wonderful white woman who changed her home so that she could house temporarily families, white people from South Africa, to give them refuge. No one but us said anything about that. No one but us celebrated that. So it's interesting that so many of the pro-white content creators, not a word to say about the victories in the lives of actual white people. But let's hear what Stephen says.
It's state policy. There's land expropriation. There's a whole series of government laws and policies that specifically target white farmers and the white population in South Africa. That's well documented on video. And of course, you even see government leaders chanting racial epithets and espousing racial violence. So it's all very well documented. Yes.
All right. So he moved on after that. But it is all well documented. You could not have an attack on a group of people more well documented than what is happening to white South Africans, to the real South Africans. It could not be more well documented than that. And it's total incredulity. You talk to white people all the time. How many of you, let's hear in the live chat, how many of you have talked to white people about what's happening to us in South Africa? And they either said, that doesn't sound believable to me. I don't think, no, that couldn't happen. Or they gave you the face that, nah, couldn't be true. Couldn't be true. So an automatic can't be true. That's like saying that the team that you're rooting for on the field just scored. And you're like, we just scored. And they're like, I don't know. Not sure about that. I'm going to bring that analogy back a little later. What is going on in the minds of those people that we have to contend with? Maybe I should just say, what's going on in the minds of those white people? And are you able to realize that that thing that's going on is the thing we have to contend with? And that if we don't contend with, there can be no victory. There can be no reclamation of our destiny. Let's go to our good friend, Aussie Mike. You remember Aussie Mike? Aussie Mike is this epic member of our community. We love Aussie Mike. We've had him on a number of times. He is an Australian who has come to the aid of our brothers and sisters in South Africa to tell their stories when they are murdered, including a member of this community, a woman who had just found out about going free and was just digging in to the remedy to anti-whiteism. when she was brutally raped and murdered, like so many of our sisters in South Africa. This hero is acting the way that we should all act. This guy's name you should all know. So here he is with his tweet. President Trump is correct. He should have 10 million followers, because this is the ideal. He is a moral man, white man. He's a Christian, and he stands up for our people everywhere on planet Earth, speaking for us after we are murdered as a consequence of anti-whiteism. So here he says, trying to reach Trump, bad things are happening in South Africa. And here's your checklist. Are there existing race-based laws in South Africa? Yes. They've existed since 94. Are there existing brutal farm murders of white people? So white people being murdered? Yes. And you say, like, well, what's the deal with the farms? Why the farms? It's harder to murder the white people who are surrounded with walls and in the cities and in the suburbs and gates, and the population is everywhere around you, and big ruckus of entering and murdering and everything would bring much more attention. Much easier to go get the white people where the population is sparse. Okay, that's why. Existing land invasions happening? Yes. Existing chance to kill whites in South Africa? Yes. Again and again and again. Existing attempts to enforce race quotas in jobs since 94? Yes. Existing white population, a fraction of the total population in South Africa? Yes. All of that and more happening. And as I showed you a couple of weeks ago, the anti-white blacks in South Africa talking about taking Orania from us in South Africa as well. Don't bother making the arguments that, well, they went out and founded their own town. Don't bother making that argument, because they went out and founded their own country called South Africa wasn't a legitimate enough argument for anti-whites.